Hi all. So welcome to another day on this JMeter training, and now we'll be discussing these topics. Right. So we will start end-to-end recording and scripting or enhancement uh, with the best practices. So second scenario, that is user research. So end-to-end recording and script enhancement with best practices. For second scenario, that is user research. Right. So in the last session where we stopped is like at 4.25, where I said that for all the rest of the scenario, again, we have to prepare the script for all other scenario by following the all above step from 3 to 4.24 right till here. And also one thing, like when we become expert while doing enhancement of the script, starting from first request itself, we can parallel do all these things, right? At 10 at the same time. So we will practice this. Now, if I go back, so that is user registration scenario. This will be the food test scenario ID, you can say. And I have this PPT Excel file where I've captured this transaction involved in that. About that scenario, right? Even I've explained that long. So we'll just complete the script for that. So this is the scenario ID, scenario name. These are the 8 transactions, right? Some notes written, and the transaction name that I have kept pre-variable, right? And for each transaction, what are the endpoints? Okay. Now, um, okay, and also one thing which I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I explained that the common transaction name we will be keeping same, will be keeping same, and that is what uh, uh, the main motive. Okay. And even I've explained the reason for that, right? By showing a report as well. By the common transaction name we should keep same. Okay. Fine. So we'll immediately start the recording. And this time, this recording I'll be showing using this Mozilla Firefox, because the last scenario we have used Google Chrome, right? For the last scenario. So starting from here, this point was one-time activity that is already done. Then this is if it is some other application, some other project, then you can do that and check, right? Uh, for that project. But since like suppose a new application you are working on, so you can always do a trial recording and understand any recording complication or problem happening or not. If it is not there, it's good. Or if it is there, we can please try to solve that, right? But since this user registration scenario is of this same application, right? So the whole thing we have already covered. To repeat it again. Now, point number 3 is recording the flow or the scenario with all best practices, with all the best practices. So I have explained all these points, right? To explain it again, but we will follow that, right? And we will do the record. So this is the JMeter. First thing what we have to do is we have to click on this template. Then from drop down, choose the template called recording template. Then click on create and then create. Now, this first 3 element, no need to use. Just delete them. Then we have thread group. Inside thread group, we have recording controller. We will not use that. Instead of that, we will be using simple controller. So we'll add that simple controller. Recording controller delete. Then there is a view result. Fine. then HTTP test script recorder, enable it. In HTTP test script recorder, you say things like target controller will go to simple controller, right? So from drop down, choose simple controller. Then this is fifth selection, just confirm it. By default, it will be auto selected, just verify. Then here naming schema will be prefix, right? And follow redirect, this should be unchecked. Then till here will do, and we will save. Okay, so we'll go to file and we'll do save. Where to save? We'll save here in our project folder where we are keeping all the things. So copy this location and just paste it here. Okay, and hit enter button. So we are in that location now. Give the file name, right? So the rule for that we know, right? The directory name or file name must not contain any special character or any space, right? Hyphen and underscore is allowed. Even and symbol is not allowed, right? And so this transaction, this scenario is PS02 UR short form, user registration. So we'll give like that. Um, here this was PS01 product booking. So this will be PS02 UR user registration underscore, right? PA02 UR underscore user registration. Okay, user registration. And uh, this initial recording, we can give some date like how we have given for previous one, product booking. That was initial recording, right? So something we can give. So like, so 6th, 16th. Uh, Instead of giving date, generally I prefer date, but it's not uh, like mandatory stuff, right? So instead of giving date, some other name also we can give, like initial recording or recording RDC. So like this recording or short form rec, right? Like that also you can give, and then save. So this is done. Next, now in this view result tree, we have to give a file name. So this one we will delete and we'll choose browse. Then in archive only we'll save. Let us say the previous one for product booking was, you see, PS01 PB. For this, we will change it PS02 user registration and underscore short form also you can give RL or recording, and it will be .xml file. Here extension is very important, right? For for saving this recording log, right? That should be saved in a XML file. See, two things many people get confused. This is the JMX file. The main, this whole is a JMeter file. Okay, it's a main JMeter file, right? Which is a JMX file. Here you can see that is a JMeter file, JMX file. But this recording goes to another file called XML file. Okay, .xml. Right? So understand that difference. Do not get, and click on open here. It will throw an error kind of thing. No need to worry. Just so and save it, right? So that's it. Right? So here you can see original recording and RAC scheme. And so this is the JMX in which we'll be doing the recording, and here in archive that will be coming. Okay. that XML file will be. Okay. Now we have to do the recording. So before doing the recording, we have to set up the port and proxy. So that we will set in Mozilla Firefox because I'm going to do the recording in Mozilla Firefox. Okay. So last time product booking I have shown using Google Chrome. This time I'll be showing this in Mozilla Firefox. So I have opened the Mozilla Firefox. Let us go to setting and just check few things. One is about certificate. Okay, whether certificate is there or not. It's there. I believe. Mm, no, it's old one. We'll have to put the new one. No, it's the old one. So this one we'll delete, delete and clear the cookies. Close the browser. Again, start the browser. You can go to setting, search, import, import new certificate. Click in both checkboxes. Okay. So this time it's okay. It will be latest one. And click on OK. So yeah, it's there. Now we'll set up the proxy. So again, go to setting and proxy. Okay. So by default, it will be no proxy, right? Then we have to do manual proxy. Put this word here and this number here, and even put a check mark in this, right? So the same thing will reflect here, and this port will reflect. And then click on OK. Right? Now let us start incognito or new private window in Mozilla. Now doing the recording. Right? So just a second. Just a second. Give me one. Okay. Uh, just a second. One person is going to join, so we'll just wait. Okay. Let us begin. So this is done, right? And we all know this. Right? Next, so we'll do click on the start recording. Right. So let us click on the start the recording. Okay. Now, right now, it's here. So we'll give the first transaction name. So this is the first transaction name. Let us put it here, and then let us put the URL of that application right, here and hit the enter button. So that's done. The home page is launched. Now we will just check one time whether recording is happening. So here we can see requests are coming, and here also requests are coming. Fine. Now next is now next transaction. So recording is happening. Now next transaction. So next transaction is clicking on interest. So this is the transaction name. We'll put it here, and we have to wait for 5 seconds. Right, that's there. Then click on enter. So before that, update the transaction name and then do that transaction. So clicking on interest. Then so this is done, right? Then now again wait for minimum 5 seconds. Now next will be, so this is done. Now next transaction. So that is this signing. So first update that. So let us update it here, and then so it's updated, right? Then let us click. Now we are going to do registration scenario, right? So this time we have to click here. So before that, again, minimum wait is 5 seconds, and then so this is the transaction name. Register now. And why this number is 15 here? Because I think that I have explained day before yesterday's session, I remember. So from product booking scenario, right? This is product booking scenario. From its this is the last transaction, and it's getting continued from here, right? Uh, like so, PS14 booked order, and then PS15 register now, PS16 enter detail and save. These all were common transactions, correct? Common transactions, which are above. And sign out, we do not give any number because it comes in last, right? So that's it. Oh. update the transaction name first. Now let us click here. So I have to fill the details here. Before that, yeah, we'll wait for 5 seconds. And will let us copy the next transaction name. The transaction name, if you make it ready, right, it becomes very easy that only copy paste you have to do. So if you make it handy, right, becomes very easy. So next transaction name is like here. So update the transaction name. The transaction name got updated. Now we'll enter the details and we'll click on save, right? So let us enter. So let us say username, suppose Jojo, and something like 03 to 03010, 10, right? It's 10, 03, 10, and 2025. Password will be CD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. New password again. Will be CD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First name Jojo, last name Bill, email ID. We keep this username at gmail.com. Phone number, some dummy phone number will. Again, this all anything we can do. Street 1, Street 2, city, Hyderabad, Street. Short form I'm giving. Zip code. This is not mandatory stuff, so we can keep this as it is. Okay. Now click here. So save. Now when we do save, the page comes back here. Okay. After that, we have to verify whether the user has registered, right? And this is a normal behavior. Suppose if you even on Google, if you are trying to create a credential, so you will verify, you will log in, correct? So let us log in with that credential. So with which we have just registered. So to log in again, we have to do click on sign in. Then only we will go to that page, right? So here again the transaction name sign in will go to. Now remember this transaction name, this and this same because even number is same and this PS3 is coming from product booking, right? Here if you see sign in PS03 sign in and in user registration also PS03 sign in and it's getting repeated here. So that's why we are keeping it all same, okay? Because if transaction is same, we will not give a different uh, names. Why we will not give a different name? There is a reason for that. Because the request, if you see, that will be same. Okay, that will be same. So that is a reason. You cannot. Main thing is request, right? So firing of the request. Now, if request is same, then how you can give the different transaction name, right? Because at the end of the endpoint, the request we will be hitting the same endpoint, right? Okay. Or here also, suppose two times if you are clicking on sign in, let it be, but endpoint is same, right? Endpoint. So we cannot give different transaction. That is the reason. Fine. So this is sign in again. Let us put it here, right? And then click on sign in. Okay. Now we will do login. So we'll do login with the same user with which we have just registered. So login. So let me copy this. Login. Again, login is PS04. Why? Because it's the same transaction from product booking, right? So all these four transactions are same, repeated in user registration. So this three and login four, this is repeated here. Even sign out is coming. So we have kept the name as same, right? So that is the good practice. Now login and so after wait for minimum 5 seconds, and then once that is over, then update the transaction name. and then perform that transaction. Okay. So Jojo 03/10/2025, and password is ABCD 1 2 3 4, and do the login. So when we do the login, if you see, it's clearly showing a welcome message. Right. It's clearly showing a welcome message. So it means that here you can see, it means that we that user is successfully registered, right, and he's successfully logging in. Okay. Now the last transaction is performing the sign out. So again, wait for minimum 5 seconds, and once that is over, then update the transaction name and then perform that transaction. So sign out PS sign out. Sign out. So transaction name updated, and then done. Now again, wait for minimum 5 seconds, and once that is over, then you can stop it. So now we can stop. After stopping, immediately come in JMeter and press save, so that all our work can be saved. And from here, the file name will be removed, right? Because this recording log is saved here. Now, no need to keep the file name here. You know, right? Already know why it will be there, because whenever we do a run, so that error will come. Suppose I'm clicked on run, so this error, you see warning. This is coming because, see, if we read this message carefully, right, this PA0R LXML file already exists, is saying, right, it's because the file name, we keep it here, right? Only when the recording is going on, till then it should be there, so that all recording gets saved here. After that, we should not be keeping it here, right? Otherwise, every time that error will come whenever you try. And next time again, when suppose you want to recall this recording log, then you will browse that file and again recall it, right? And after again browsing and recalling, we should not keep it here. Correct? Fine. So save. So this is done. Recording is done. Now in here we can disable that proxy. Otherwise, we know, right, that internet will not work. So whether it is Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, same thing. So we have to disable the proxy. Otherwise, internet will not work in Mozilla Firefox. And also, I have explained in very beginning, if you remember, that Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome, they have all separate settings, right? Separate setting of proxy and certificate. Next, so this is done, right? Recording. So in this, what we have followed this step. This all step I have covered that. So no need to again talk it again, but I'll just read it out. The transaction name must be meaningful, right? It means the name should reflect or reference the user action being done. Transaction name must not contain any special character like this. Only a space and hyphen and underscore are allowed, right? And transaction name must follow other 3 points, like it should not be much long. Have number, the transaction number, and same name, right? Same name for common transaction. So we have discussed this already, correct? Same name. Common transaction should have same name. Uh, the transaction which are common in all the scenarios should have the same. So we have followed that and we have done this all accordingly. Now this is done. Now next is enhancement of the script. So enhancement of the script. Save another copy, right, as working on or work in progress, right, whatever. In IT industry, they call it B. work in progress. And some cosmetic change we can do, like giving the scenario name to test plan and red book also. So this we will do. So let us go to file. Let us go to save test plan as, and then outside actually in JPEG store folder. Yeah. So this is will be PS 02 EUR user registration, and here we'll delete this and give VIP underscore version 1 dot JMX, or no need to give dot JMX, automatically will take dot JMX. Save. So now we are working on this file. You can see. So this was the original file where original recording is there as it is. Now we saved it as another file, right? And now we are in this working progress. Okay, so we will be working in this, correct? This I will move that in archive, not required. Well, if in future if needed, we'll use that. Otherwise, not. So now we are in VIP, right? This work in progress. Fine. And some other thing like giving a name to test plan or thread group, like how we have done earlier. So we can do that. So let us do that. Its name is I'll just copy it. So PS 02 your user registration test plan. And the same thing will update here at thread group like this. And here also. Now keep saving the work. Next, so these are some cosmetic changes. So some cosmetic changes. Now next is removing any irrelevant URL and embedded resources that are captured. Right? And also, if needed, initially we can put check mark in generate parent sample option for each transition controller. But later on, we have to uncheck them. So it's not mandatory to check it, but just for a beautification purpose, when we do run, we can do that. If you do not want, you can keep, because in the last it should be unchecked one. This is important, removing of irrelevant URLs and resources. So here, if you see, still they are captured, because if you see multiple home page, we are seeing multiple enter store, we are seeing, sorry, enter details and save, we are seeing, right? So it means that irrelevant request has been captured, but they will not be more compared to what we have seen in Google Chrome. The product booking scenario, if you remember, or if you go and watch that part of video, right? So product booking scenario, uh, yeah, product booking scenario that got recorded from Google Chrome, there were a lot of things, right? Lot of irrelevant requests were captured when we recorded from Google Chrome. But if you see from Mozilla Firefox, they are not many. You see, they are not many. Okay? So only one. This is main request of yeah, homepage. Fine. Then this is Mozilla, but only one request. This we can filter out. So then this is also Mozilla. Fine, but only one. Delete. And this is also Mozilla. Let us see. Okay. So this is homepage. Then we have enter store. Enter store has got two requests. This is the main request. If you are not sure main request, what is the main request? So we, if you have written it, it is become easy to identify, right? Or before recording, I have said that have a practice or go through that what is happening, right? Because understanding the functionality, we have to understand the functionality before doing the recording, and understanding the request and other thing, that is important. So you will come to know, you will understand. Or if you write it, it becomes more easier to identify. So this is the main request of enter store. This is a SVC file. It's an embedded resource building. So homepage done, enter store done. Then sign in. Sign in has only one request. Fine. Then register now. Right, only one request. Fine. Then this is enter details and save. So enter details and save as two requests. This is one request. This is another request. Okay, fine. Now enter details save has been captured one more time, but this is irrelevant thing. So delete this. Then again sign in is there, right? And again login here. Let's see. Again login. Two requests, fine. And last is sign out. Sign out has also two. Okay. So this is done, right? So if you have seen that there were no irrelevant requests or embedded resources this time when we recorded from Mozilla Firefox compared to when we recorded from Google Chrome, the product booking channel. Because Google Chrome, while using Google Chrome, it uses system proxy, and that time so many applications communicate with the network. Even we are doing this recording through Zoom, so that time we have seen requests from Zoom. But this time, do you have seen any request from Zoom? No request is there from Zoom, right? Because Zoom is using system proxy. Mozilla Firefox has its own proxy. Okay, so that's why more irrelevant requests will not be there. So that's why I say or I suggest like preferably to use Mozilla Firefox if possible, if it is there in your company laptop, because many time company will not provide this Mozilla Firefox. By default, the browser they give is Google Chrome. Okay. But if you have Mozilla Firefox, you are if you record it from there, so more less number of irrelevant requests will be captured. That will be benefit. Okay. Fine. Now next thing. So few other cosmetic changes. So this like fixing the transaction name and other thing, right? For better HTML reporting. So point number one again. I'll not repeat it again. Just I'll read it out. So suppose you have done any mistake or if you want to have change in name of the transaction or you want to shorten the name of it, we can always go and do. Right. So if I have explained that in details in long while, so again I'll not repeat. Again, this any misplaced, misarranged request is there, just fix it, right? Arrange them properly. If there is messing up with the sequence number, also fix them, right? For transaction which are more than one, just fix them. All are these if condition, only if required we have to do, otherwise not needed, right? This is important. We have to add number sequentially to all requests for only those transactions which are more than one. Okay, so add the number. So for more than one request, those transactions which are more than one request, we have to add number sequence. So like here, enter details have two requests. So we will give enter details save one here and enter details save two here. So one here and two here and save. So it will reflect one. Same in login and sign out there. So login one, login six, and sign out one, sign out. So these are some cosmetic changes. Cosmetic changes means beautification. Okay, beautification of the script is called cosmetic change. So once this is done, then a real thing will start, which is next slide. These all things, right? So I'll just come in 1 minute. Just drink some water. Just this. Okay. Now next thing. So next thing, like 4.4, which is important, is adding cookie manager, especially inside the thread group, and putting check mark in clear cookies at each address. Right. So cookie manager is very important. So minimize this simple controller. Click on this thread group. Go to add. Go to config element and add this cookie manager, and then put check mark on this. Okay, that is done. And then just move drag. It will be below simple controller when we add it. So drag it up like this. Move it above simple controller and save. Next is doing the correlation and parameterization. Okay. So see, this all as I said, correlation and parameterization, preparing the test data, right? Correlation and parameterization for conventional value, that is authentication token or authorization token. Then preparing the script to run for multiple users, so that is test data preparation, and then running the script for different test data, right? Different business test data, which is correlation for non-conventional values, right? Business related values. Then adding of assertions, right? Adding of error handling. So we have just discussed this 2 days back, right? 2 or 3 days back. So what happens is when we do things right by here, when we become expert, all this thing, adding of correlation for convention, unconventional value, adding of assertion, error handling, test data, all we can start doing from first request parallel. Okay, it's not like one by one we have to do. Since that was first thing, first script, and I have to show that in one by one. Otherwise, people will get confused. Right? So everything was explained in one by one manner, and it took so much time. Right? Almost we have invested, I believe, 10 days on in yeah, almost 10 days, right? More than 10 days, right? So by understanding that now, since you know the thing, so we can all do that in one night, one go, starting from first script. Okay, so first, sorry, starting from first transaction only. So coming here, so suppose home page. Now, if you click on home page and if you see there is no values here, right, or nothing here in header, so find nothing to fix. So what you can do, you can add assertion at least. Okay, so all thing you can do parallelly, right? Uh, so what I'll do, I'll just open one more JMeter, and to save my time, I'll copy the assertion from the product booking scenario, because transactions are same, right? But many transactions are same, only two transactions are different. Like register now and enter detail save is different. So assertion for these two transactions will be different. Otherwise, all transactions are same, right? So I'll just copy them immediately. Otherwise, all those things how to do. So will not repeat it again, right? Because repetition will take much time, and then again, course, like timing of the course will be delayed, right? It will extend. So, and that is not necessary also, I believe. Which is necessary that I always repeat or make you guys understand. But this thing self. So home page, you see. So I'll copy the assertion from here. You can also do in real time also. It's not like that here. In real time also, to save the work, you, already you have one script from that. Whatever the necessary content is there, we can copy paste in the another script, right? So this assertion of home page from product booking, I'm taking and pasting it here, right? So then enter store. Now in enter store, um, what is there, right? So generally, there is no value to fix, correct? In header also. That is fine. So we can add assertion, right? That is there. And next thing is sign in, which is next request. You see, in sign in again, there is a value which is passing, which is JSON ID, right? And this was there in product booking also, and we have extracted that from 13. So do that, okay? Extract this value from 13 and pass it here, right? So if you will please do that yourself. What I'll do, I'll copy all this thing and from product booking, and I'll save it. So parallelly, you can extract that JSON ID and paste it here. Then you can add assertion, and you can add RSA, result status XML, the error handling. Because wherever we are extracting the value, we have to add it. Right? That means, so we can do that. Fine. So this is done now. Replacement of this controller. And sign in here we have to update the name, right? That we have done here. So enter a store, for that everything we have done. We have extracted the value, error handling element added, and resource. Now there is sign in, and sign in we have replaced the value. After that, in sign in, what will be there? Um, like in next request, there is no such value. So from sign in, nothing to extract. We have to just add the assertion for sign in. So again, assertion I'll copy from here. From this sign in, right? From this is product booking. So transaction are same. So assertion will be same. Nice. So we can save our work. So I've added it. Only thing you can change here is uh, here if you see we have verified one code for login, two value we verified. It's signing. So when we were doing adding assertion, that time we verified this and this button, right? But this time this is user register. So this one you can remove. This one you let it be. This one we can remove, and we can add assertion for register now. This one, because next transaction we are going to click on that. If you see register now, right? So let us fetch that assertion. This is 28. 28. See the code for register. It's all hyperlink again, right? Hyperlink serials. So if you want, you can copy whole line, or otherwise from here also, like a new account form register now. Will work. Okay. Now this is done. Now comes next register now. Again in register now, if you see there is no such value again to fix or right. Yeah. Or in header also. So we can add assertions here, right? That is only thing we can do. But next again, if you see in enter details and save, are entering the details here, all these details. So here, source page and FPID, that is dynamic value. So these two dynamic value, again, we have to extract as per the rule, like we know that. So these two dynamic value are passing in request 30. So we have to look back, and what the rule is, like 80 to 90% chance is that it will be in the response of immediate previous request, right? So they will be there in 29. So you can find them, source page and FPID. Please extract them out and replace, right? So that is easy. We have already done same source page ID and FPID. So you should do that, right? What I am doing is I'll just copy paste. Copy pasted. Uh, yeah, you people please do not copy this. You practice it clearly by extracting and replacing properly. So this both value got replaced. Now we will add the RSA element result status. We will copy it from here. So wherever the value is getting extracted, it's mandatory has to be. So parallelly, we are doing all this thing, right? In product booking, we have done one by one. But now we will do all parallel. Like why to do it again, like one by one, right? Not required. When we do all those, when you know all those things parallel, you can do all. Now you can add assertions as well. So everything we are doing one by one. Assertion for register now. So what happens when we click on register now? What happens? This page comes. Now in this page, this is the important value because after filling all these details, we'll be clicking on this, right? So ICU rule, correct? So we got one value. And another thing, anything you can give, either you can give this or this, anything, one more you can give. So first this comes, so we'll give value for this, and then at second number we'll give this. But important one is this one only. Okay, important one is, so register now request number 29. This is request number 29. It's here in our recording log, right? So user information heading, right? Just search user. See, heading S3 tag. Right? That is one. And next is this save accounting. So it's there again. Input name, save account, type, submit value, save account. If you are not sure that whether this is the same code, you know how to verify, right? Cross verify. We can always open the inspect tab and then choose this cursor and choose this cursor and try to highlight that. If you highlight that, automatically that code will be shown, right? So this is the whole line. No need to take whole. You can take whole. Or if you want, you can take whole also. But generally, not that much big value we should give, right? Then next is enter details and save. So till register now, everything is fixed. Right? And what we can do is parallelly we can run the stuff one by one. So I will disable this transaction from PS16 till downside. Whatever we have fixed till 15, we'll just run it and verify whether everything is working fine. So one by one, we have to run also. There is no problem all when. Now enable PS16 or transaction 16. Now here comes uh, yeah. So here there were two dynamic value. We have fixed that. Now comes the non-conventional values, right? Plus the payloads. So on this page, if you see, the user is sending the payloads, correct? And suppose if I run this request, you see enter detail, first request 30, number 30 is failing, and with 500 code and yeah, some error code from SQL database. Like you see here, some error is coming from DB, right? Account. Yeah, it's showing something related to account. Right. So actually, what is the problem here? Right? Why it failed? Because we have fixed the dynamic value also, and there is uh, no such strict value which we have to fix before running. Right? It should pass, but it's not passing. Right? Throwing error with some error from the database. Right? We can see here. Correct. There is problem in insert into account. Account will be the table name, right? And this will be the columns of the table. And yes, and yeah, this some there is some problem in that account table, right? So what is the problem? Can anyone guess? Okay, so fine. So I'll tell. See what is happening with this payload. Whatever we are keeping it here, that is passing with the request as it is. See all these values. If you want, we can change the view to HTTP and you can see here. All these value are passing there as it is. The FP value and source page value, they are uh, getting correlated, right? So they are also passing fine. But other values, right? They are passing as it is, right? And these are actually pure user data, user payload, right? User inputs. These are all form data. We have to fill them. User has to fill them. There is no correlation involved for this, right? Now, what is the problem? Why it is throwing issue? So see, it's a normal behavior. Suppose you are on Gmail and you are logging in. Suppose we are going to Gmail and we want to sign up, create an account. So we'll give a first name something and last name, right? And then you have to choose email ID. Correct? Right. This all you have to fill, and then so here comes the user ID, right? You have to generate a unique user ID, right? And that will be your Gmail ID, right? Now, once you have done the registration, remember, can you use this? Suppose you have once you have done the registration with this username, and next, if you want to uh, yeah, next you want to do a new registration scenario, same. So, can you use the same username again, right? What you have used? We cannot use, right? We cannot. We cannot use, right? Because it will throw error because already we have registered, right? With the same detail. So same way here also it's throwing the problem. See the username that we provide here, that is unique, and especially for this page, and this email ID that we give, that should be unique. Means that should be always that should be different. Okay, every time when we do the registration, right? We cannot use things. So the username address. So the same thing here. If you see that when we are running this test, so this here username, what we have used earlier, like when we did the recording, that time we have used this username, right? Already it has registered an email ID support here. So already that has been used. Now when we are doing a re-registration, means we are running this script, means doing re-registration scenario, right? So that time again we the same request to do the registration is going with the same inputs, correct? The same inputs. So it will obviously server or application will throw error because already this credential or username has been registered. Just now it has been there. Now again you are sending the register now request or registration request. Okay. Registration request, right? With with the same username. Okay, so it is going to fail, right? It is going to throw error. So that's a valid error, right? Already, that's why you see in accounts it's fine. Um, so it is because that same user is already registered and uh, it cannot take it cannot do re-registration with same user name, right? Same fine. Now, so so let us fix these values here first. Um, so as I said, all thing we can do parallelly, right? So like dynamic value, preparing of test data, um, changing the different business test data, right? Assertion, all we are doing parallel. These all steps we are doing parallel, right? Starting from top. So so let us try to fix these values. Right? So this will be these are all payloads, right? User inputs. So payload, pure payload. So what you have to do, right? Remember for different user to pass different value. What we have to prepare the test data file. That is only process. Right? We know that, correct? So prepare a test data file. Suppose text file save as uh, yes. Suppose 3.csv and let me open this. So, so rest I'll not do all this stuff, but I'll just explain because we have already covered. So you know right now what to do. Uh, we for every inputs which are here. So for every input side, suppose username, password, repeat password is same. Right? So we can create a column like username, then password, variable field, then first name. So p underscore f name, first name, then p underscore lm last name, right? Last name. Then email, phone address, so like that, right? So p underscore email, then p underscore phone, right? Your phone is there. Then p underscore address one, addr1, p underscore addr2, right? P underscore city, p underscore city, p underscore state, like that, right? P underscore state, p underscore zip code, p underscore country. So variable column we can put. And below that all values for n number of user, like for how many number of user you want to run. We can put the value right below them, below each of these variable columns. And those variable we can substitute here in place of the value in parameterized form, right? Parameterized like dollar flower braces, variable name, flower braces. Right? That is the only thing. Because these value are pure user input, right? Even the username or whatever you are putting, that is going from user side. It's not coming from server side that we have to choose, right? No, purely it's coming from user side or server side. Okay. So we have to do correlation. Sorry, we have to prepare the test data file. Okay. Now, one thing here, understand this main uh, see this when we prepare the username, right? in the test data file. So there will be one problem. Understand? What is that problem? Suppose all these inputs, okay, all these inputs, all these inputs or which are here, all these inputs, uh, they can be repetitive. You can repeat this value, but username cannot be repeated. Plus email ID also. Email ID also you have to give separate for separate user. Now problem is that suppose you are running for one user and you have given a value here, a username, any username to register. Right? Hope you understand. A username that we have to give, which will come, we have to put it here, which will get itself put in here in the script, right? In the script, and which will register itself, right? So it can be any username, right? But understand that suppose you have prepared a test data, 10 test data, 10, like that, and 10 different username you have given to register right in this manner. Now problem is that suppose you have run this script uh, 10 times, so all these users will be registered, right? Register 10 times also, or suppose with 10 user if you run the script, so each user will pick the data and they will bring the username here and they will register that user, right? Now next time again if you are running, suppose next time one more if you are running the test, right, with same 10 user or maybe one user or whatever, so this data cannot be again taken, right? Cannot be taken, cannot. Why? Because the same thing just I explained that this user which is there that has already been registered. That's why when I'm running it, that request is throwing error, right? Now understand that this that users which we have put in test data file and we have already ran them, or already we have run the script with those test data. So those test data means those users are now registered, right? Now again, if you run this test and try to do this registration scenario with same data, it will fail, right? Because same data will come here and they are already registered, so they cannot be registered. Simple, right? So what we have to do is every time you have to keep changing the data, like every time that at least the username and the email thing, you have to always keep on changing. Means every time when you will be running this script, you have to keep new values, new data. Okay, so that will become a little problematic, but that is the only way because that is the uh, functionality, right? That is it. Okay, and that will be also a challenge, right? Because this is a registration and registration always require new data. Simple. So every time you run, suppose you have put in 100 data here and you ran for 100 user. So those 100 data or 100 username has been utilized by this 100 user and registration has been done, right? Now again, if you want to run it, the test for 200 user or yeah, or 10 user only, so again they will be using the same test data, right? If you are not changing it, so they will bring it and try to do registration, right, with this. So it will fail because that user has already been registered by in the last run for with 100 user that we did, right? So we have to change this. We have to keep changing the data at least. Okay. Other, see, all other data you can keep same, but mandatory data here is username and email ID. You have to always keep on changing. This is all you can keep same, no problem. But especially username is mandatory, right? You cannot use it. Right? So every time you have to keep in changing, right? And that is how we'll pass different test data for different user from test data file, right? And perform this transaction or perform this request. Okay. Now that we know and that we have discussed in product booking also how to prepare test data file, how to call it, all you know that. Now what I'm going to do is instead of preparing test data file, we will use some function and try to get this thing filled using the function only, right? And avoiding the test data prepare, like how we have done in product booking. So we have both options. Okay, which option you prefer or which option is suitable for you, anyone you can choose depending on your situation for that scenario. right? Or on which script or application or scenario you are working. So ignore this. So this is one method, one way to uh, fetch the new data here, right? Next method, the more good one will be using is functions. Okay, so function will fill this data, and no need to prepare the test data. Now, first thing is username. Okay, understand. Now in username, let us say this name called Jojo. You can keep as it is, Jojo. Let it be. This number we can change. How we will change the number? You can generate a random function. We can generate a random number using random function. So you can give some minimum range like 11,000, yeah, 1 lakh whatever, and maximum range. Generate. And instead of this, Jojo will be as it is. Just remove that number and put it like this. So you run it for any number of user, let us say 10 user or whatever. Here it is going to generate how it will be generated Jojo and a random number between this. Suppose 78,000 lakh. Okay, 7,87,649. That is one user for one user. That is one username for one user. Another for another user, it will be something like 89,400, 8,94,592, right? Something like that. Okay. So for every user, different username. In this way, it will be generated. Okay. But here one problem will be there. Okay. Understand. What is that problem? The problem is this random number, they can generate, remember, they can generate same number for two or multiple users. Now, what is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is understand in very simple way. Suppose I'll use I'm using a random function to generate a random number between 1 to 9. Right? Understand like this. So we will use it there, like suppose Jojo, and this function which is going to generate a number between 1 to 9. So it can be Jojo 1 or Jojo 2 or Jojo 3. Now suppose I am running for 100 users. Suppose, understand. But number gap is between 1 to 9 only, right? So for 100 user, 100 unique credential cannot be there, right? No, maximum how much? Jojo 1, Jojo 2, Jojo 3, Jojo 4, Jojo 5, Jojo 6, Jojo 7, Jojo 8, Jojo 9. That's it, right? 1 to 9. So how much unique data we had? We had only 10 unique data. And I'm running for 100. Forget about 100. Only 20 user also if you run. So what will happen? It is going to generate the same number, right? Okay. Hope you are understanding that. Suppose we ran for 10 user. Okay, fine. And for 10 user, we got for one user Jojo 1, another Jojo 2, Jojo 3, Jojo 4. It works fine. But now we have 20 users, right? Now in 20 user, then what will be happening? In this range, it's a random number generator, right? So it can generate same number. It's not a unique number generator. Remember, it's a random number between that range. So it can generate the same number, right? So it is possible that it can generate Jojo 1 2 times or Jojo 1 3 times. Okay. So for 2 user or 3 user, the user name can be same, right? User name can be same. So now you'll ask me what is the problem with that, right? So the problem is here we need a unique number. Every time we need a unique number. because the username here, it should be always unique. You cannot use the same username. That is the problem. Okay. Now, suppose you are running for 1000 users. Okay. Let us say 1000 users, we are running this test of user registration. Now, suppose this function generates same number, Jojo, and some, let us say, 7,95,643. And for another user also, it generated like that one, 7,95,643. So one user picked this and he tried to this registration scenario fine. Another user also picked this and he tried to do this registration scenario. Then what will happen? That time the second user will fail, right? Why it will fail? Because already one user has used this username and he has done the registration. Now second user cannot pick that same value. But means he can pick, but he cannot do the registration. Right? That is the problem. So here we need a unique number which is unique for different user and which is not repeating the number. Problem with random number function is, remember always, that random number can generate a random function can generate same number. Okay, that's what I would same number for two or more users, for two or more users. Okay, so that time one user will fail to do the registration. So this function will not work here. Okay, then what will work? Because here we need a unique username concept. Unique. Suppose you are running for 1000 user or 1 lakh user. Every time we need a unique data. Unique data. That is the problem. Okay. Right. So and random function can generate same number multiple times between that range. Okay. So it doesn't guarantee the generation of unique number. No, never. Okay. Number can repeat for two user or three. So how to solve this? Right? So to solve this, we had two ways to do. One way is like we have a UUID function which generates a unique 16-digit hexadecimal number, which looks like this, and it never repeats. Right? So you can use this like copy that and put it here. So you can use like Jojo, and that so much big number will be generated. So for different user, it will be different, but it will not be realistic, right? Username looking like Jojo, and that UUID is a concept in programming world or IT industry, in computer world. UUID, try to search get ID also. It's a universal unique identifier. Something is there. Okay. So generated once. Okay. So actually, it's not never repeat. Here you can see. Right? So it's a concept. It's used in programming world everywhere. So, but problem with UUID is like they are not realistic. The UUID is like this. We have just seen in JMeter also how it was generated. So see here it's generating this number. This will never repeat. That is guaranteed. But problem is that who will use like this? Like suppose username like Jojo and then this. It's not look realistic. Correct? You can use if you need such unique kind of number which never repeats. We can use this. Our problem is that Jojo and that kind of thing is not looking realistic, right? So let us ignore it for now. But in future uh, reference, just remember that suppose you need UID generator because UID thing is there, right? It's there. Maybe in some other application you need that, so you can use this function. Okay, fine. Now, next thing is so how to solve this, right? This problem of unique thing. So we can use timestamp. Okay, timestamp. Now this UID and timestamp, they are also a kind of conventional value or dynamic value because they are always changing in nature. So, right? So now I'm going to talk about timestamp. Timestamp is also known as epoch time or epoch value or Linux time, right? So what is that? First, let us try to understand. So timestamp, or it is also called as epoch time. Try to see, try to read about that. Mm. You see here, epoch time, also known as Unix time, is a system for representing a specific point in time as number of seconds that have passed since 00 coordinated UTC on January 1970. January 1st, 1970. So in simple language, I'll try to make you understand that in the midnight of January 1, 1970, okay, midnight means first, midnight means 31st December midnight, 12 p.m. is actually January, right? January 1, understand? So they say 31st night, but at least at 12 p.m. it's become January 1, right? So that is when January 1, a timer started in 1971, and that is early morning 12 a.m., which is also called a 00. A timer started. And that timer is running from that time. Okay. And it is running in such a way, and it is adjusted in such a way that it represents today time. But it is in two formats, a 10-digit form and a 13-digit form. Okay. So you see, this is epoch time in 10-digit form. 10 digits means length is 10. If you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is second. This is representing second. If you see every second, this number is increasing. Right? So you see 1, 2, 9 till, and then it will change. So this number is running from that 1 January 1970, and it is still here. And it represents today date and time. You see here in 25, 10, 3, right? And actually at Greenwich meridian time, this is the time. Now, why it is dynamic value? So see, time, date, month can repeat, right? It is today, it will come next year also. Time, date, day, month, they repeat. Only year doesn't repeat, but all this repeat. But this number never repeats. It's pure changing in nature, pure dynamic value. Okay. So many time in our scripting, we will be needing this. In many application, Unix time, this is called epoch time or Unix time gets captured. And I'll explain that how to handle also. But for now, just understand about it. So you see, right? So this is in second. And as I said, it also comes in millisecond. So um, so see, this is in seconds, right? And it's increasing. And if I click here, so in millisecond, so it will become 13 digit. Now it's 13 digit. Till here, it's 10 digit, and this is 3. Millisecond is running so fast, right? And then this second is changing, you see, right? Do you see? So this whole is actually 13 digit, right? And it represents today date and time, today date. And that is the beauty. You see, it's never repeating. It will always increase. Currently, it's last year it was 16 series, now it's 17 series. Next year it will be 18 series, and somehow I don't know how, but it represents every today date and time, right? It represents. Okay. Now, so this is used in programming languages because programming language, many things needs to be written as per time, which is not changing, not repeating, right? Because I said month, date, these all can repeat. So what happens many time in databases, some records needs to be updated in form of epoch time. Okay, so you will see this many places in IT industry when you will be working. Even in our JMeter also, in many places we will see this, and I'll let you know. Okay, so this is epoch time. So right, got it? It's called Unix time or epoch time, or it is also called as timestamp. Now we will use this timestamp for our scenario. Now you'll ask me how we will be using this. So see, uh, you see how fast it is changing. Now suppose I'm running for 10 user also. So chances are very less, like 0.001% chance is there that same number will be generated for all 10 users. Very less chance, very less chance. Or I'll say chance is negligible. Why? Because when we run a test, so we use ramp up, then we use think time also between the script. So time of running between two users, right? Because of this ramp up and think time will be different. So a user, like let us say 10 user executing this request almost at same time, right? Same time, that possibility is null, almost null. Okay. So if it is null, so here if I use that function to generate times, so same time cannot be generated for two users or more than two users. Okay. And that is how we can solve this problem using that timestamp function. Now in JMeter, how we do that, right? So we have a time function, especially. So in function tab, so time function. Now this is time function and it generates the epoch time. Do not add anything here for now. We will cover time function again tomorrow, means day after on like on next session. For now, let us understand about epoch. So see, when I'm clicking on generate, we see it's generating a 13-digit epoch time. 13 digit. See here, right? And it will never change. And it runs so fast. It's a millisecond basis it's running. So millisecond basis that number is changing. So if I use that function, right, and suppose 10 user or 1,000 users also are sending this request, suppose the same time function, I'll use it here for, I'll remove this and I'll use it. So it will become like Jojo and that function will generate the epoch time at that second whenever we'll be running the test, right? So two user, let us say we are running, or 1,000 user, 10,000 users also we are running. So chances is very less that those users will have the same epoch time at same time, okay, in milliseconds, because it's running so fast, right? It's changing so. So that is another way to have a unique number, which is not repeating in nature. So these are the two ways which I have told, UUID, but that doesn't look realistic. And another one is this. So you can write Jojo and this number. So it will be looking a little realistic. That is another way. And last way is if you is writing a code only. You have to write a code, a Java code, because that is the only option left. Either you have to pass from test data file, like I told, right? And always you have to fill the data and call them, and every run you have to change it. So, but that is a tedious task, right? So you have to write a code. That is third way. Okay. So we'll go with this only because it does the work. Right? So how to do? Simply call this time function. Where is that? Here, time function. Do not put anything here. No need to put anything. Simply click on generate. You will see the time function and how it is generating the epoch number. And if you count it, it will be 13 digit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 30. If you have to generate a 10-digit epoch, then how you will do? I'll tell here, just give divide by 1,000. Okay. So I'll tell you. Slash divide by 1,000. Click on generate. So now it's 10 digit. But for our scenario, we do not need 10 digit because 10 digit, it's very slow. Generation of 10 digit number, if you see, it's very slow, right? So chances is the same number can be generated. The same number can be generated for two or more users. We will not use that 10 digit. We'll go with 13 digit, and same number will never be repeated. Right? Almost very nil chances there. So we'll remove this generate. And what we'll do, this output will store it in a variable, name of variable to store the result. Why to store the result, I'll tell you. But for now, let me give a variable name called random generate, and remove this. So Jojo and that timestamp function. So now for every user, it will be a unique username. How it will be there, we'll also see. It will be like this. So okay, not we'll get it generated. Yeah, it will be like this. Forget this part. Jojo like this. Username will be. Okay. Now, so this is done. Now, this number which got generated, we are storing in this variable, and that variable will call in email ID. Okay. So email ID will become Jojo and the same number here at the rate gmail.com. So that's why I store that in a variable. So copy this variable name and just remove this number. Keep Jojo as it is, then dollar floor basis variable and floor basis at gmail.com. Okay. So now Jojo and that number will be username, and Jojo and the same number at gmail.com will be email. So two things sorted out, right? Two things sorted. Now comes password and repeat password. So password thing you can keep it same also, because we are doing performance testing, right? So dummy data like can be used. So same password you can keep. Let it be 1,000 users or 1,000. You can keep it same. Who is going, because this is testing going on, right? So no need to give. We can keep it hard coded as the same password. That is possible. We do that also in real time as well, right? But let us say if you want to change, so you can change. So there are multiple ways to change. Either this ABCD you can keep it same, and instead of this number you can use the same number, this random input. Okay. And so password and repeat password will also, for every user it will become different, correct? ABCD and that number, right? Okay, understanding, right? That is one way. Or if you want to completely change the password or generate something like this, I've done that. You see this number I'm calling that random number call. So ABCD, you can, as I said, you can keep as it is, and that random number variable, if you call it here, so same number will be called here. The same number will be called here. Okay, fine. And this ABCD we can keep it as it is. That also you can do. In this case, I have done what? I have changed the ABCD also. So I'll tell you. First, let us change this number. So random number in parameterized form. Then random number variable. Instead of this 1, 2, 3, 4, we'll put it like this. So what will happen? The same number which will be generated here for that user will be used here, will be used here, and will be used here. Okay, right? Now, okay, so this will be username and this will be password. Let us say here it will be ABCD. Here all it will be ABCD for an example, but number will change, right? So everyone will be having different password and email ID Jojo and that same number Gmail. Okay. So that is done. But here what I have done, I have changed the ABCD also just to make it a little bit more realistic. So how to change? Simple. I have done what I have used the random string function. Right? Random string function, and suppose 4 digit or 5 digit length we can keep, and so all in a small letter. Let us say A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z. Okay. So it is going to generate a L string. This is stuff like this, right? And we will store this result in a variable called rand string. Now generate. Now instead of this ABCD, put that function. So it will generate a 5 length string and this random number. So it will look like this, right? 5 length string and the random number. Same random. Now this same string we have to use here also instead of in repeat password also. That's why this got stored in this variable called rand string name. So we will copy that, and instead of ABCD, we'll put like dollar power basis variable and power basis close. So same string and that number here also same string and that. Okay. So this way we solved our um, password, username, password, repeat password, and email ID. Right. Now, so just 5 minutes more. In Jojo and Bean, first name, last name also, we can call the same random number function, so that that will be also be looking same. Jojo and that number, Bean and that number. Right. So in street also we can use it. These all got. Now comes phone number. So phone number using again using a random function, we can generate a 10-digit phone number, right? And suppose if you want to keep the series same, suppose 88 series, so 88 and then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. 88 keep the same and then 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. So this is 10-digit 88 series phone number. So this we'll put it here, phone number. Then come zip code. Right? So again, we have all done this all right in product booking scenario. So suppose 55 series zip code of 6 length. Zip code. Right? Now comes city and state. So again string function. Right? So if you want to put a realistic city name and realistic state name, so you know how to do. You have to properly call it from test data file only. There is no other option. Or if the work can be done like using dummy data, right? Any data. So like how we have done in product booking also, here also we can do using a random string function. Random. Yeah. So a 3 length random string or 2 length random string in general. 3 length and all ABC. So this we will put in city, and for state I'll just reduce 2. Same thing, but here it's 3 length, here it's 2. So this this got all sorted. Now comes the last one, country. So for country, what we will do, we'll call it in realistic way. So as usual, right? Uh, we have a test data for country, right? We'll use that. We have all we have this. So as usual, like add a CSV dataset config element and bring that file. Just move it up and parameterize this country with that variable. So I'm just copying this from product bookings. We have here. Country. And here that variable, what was that? P underscore country or something. Right. So country we are calling from test data just to make the thing real, because we should learn everything. So you see we have used test data file as well. So if you want to read some data from test, so we have used that also. And all other thing we have used function so that this can be generated using function. Now how it is generated also, we'll just run up here just for 2 users and you'll see how beautifully it will look. And there will be no problem. Registration will also happen. Okay. So this is enter details by first user and this is enter details by second user. So this is request tab and we are in, by default it will be raw mode, right? Raw mode. We'll click on HTTP mode to see the things clearly. So you see username Jojo and the same number is used in last name. This is password. This is repeat password, correct? Same number in last name Bin and the number and first name Jojo and the number and same number Jojo and the same number at gmail.com, right? Correct. That is the beauty. Country is getting called from CSV file. This is generated. 886 phone number got generated. Right? So you see this, and again I'm clicking on this first one. So for them, you see it's all different, right? It's all different, correct? Country code. This is state code, right? This is city code. So now, and this will be, as you said, this number will be almost never repeating, right? And that way, always we will be getting a unique kind of number, because how fast it is changing, do you see here? Next time again, if I run, that will be different number. What will happen is, you know how it works. When this request is getting executed at that time, okay, what is the epoch that gets captured? Like suppose 927. So it's running fast. It ran fast. It ran fast. But suppose if I go in second, wait, I'll just run it again, and immediately we'll see what is there. 90476. What is here? Almost 90 it was, right? And it is almost there. 9909199 it was there. And that 476 is the millisecond value. That is so fast it's changing. So at that time, what was the epoch? That will be automatically generated, that number. Like every second, what is the epoch? Right? That particular second when the test request is get automatically that will be generated. And that way we get almost a never repeating number. Okay. So this got solved, and till enter detail, you see we have fixed this, right? In this way, test data thing. So we have minimized so much of test data creation, right? Now, for today, we'll keep it till here. Tomorrow, means the next day, whenever it happens on Monday, yeah, We'll add the session for this. Right? We have not added a session, so I'm just leaving it. In that session, we'll add a session, and then this rest transaction will fix, and then some other thing will be left, right? Like this all points will be left, parameterizing, deleting, and think time pacing. We'll add that, and then this script will also be ready, right? So, and then we'll talk a little bit about epoch time, timestamp function more, right, that we have not done. So we'll do that. Time shift. Then we'll talk about third scenario, right? And fourth scenario as a homework, and then one login scenario will complete on Monday, and then till here topic will be completed. Okay. Thank you for attending. Have a